Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the TF Fans Club live stream. Right now we're gonna just chill and relax, after, a very exciting day. If you're watching this live, hi man, how you doing? But right now nobody's on. But if you're watching the rerun, enjoy the stream. I hope you find something valuable in stream. This stream usually can take, 1 hour plus, give or take. So, probability for something useful in the stream, there is always. 3 likes, 1 watching. Batch guitar, let's go. Let's go, Batch. How you doing, man? Ron adopter. Ron isn't feeling well. So Ron, tell me, man, what's up? What's up? Who did you wrong? Chadwick Dunn. Hey man, how you doing? So this is a TF Fans Club only stream, so I want to chill a little bit. I didn't want to have spam in the chat, so I thought only TF Fans Club members right now. We can just chill, relax, and talk about stuff. This Verbund LG. How you doing, man? Live by the mountains. Why members only don't mean look at Jasmine? I don't know, man. From time to time I have to give something back to the the guys that are supporting the channel, so that's why. Thanks for $2, man. That's mean. It's not mean. It's normal. It's business. It's business. So we're gonna chill. $2, Jasmine. Let's check it out. Look at Jasmine, lol. Jasmine. The coin Jasmine. I never heard about Jasmine. Nobody heard about Jasmine. Nobody knew what the Jasmine was. Then suddenly up here somewhere, everybody started talking about it. And, it hasn't been looking good. It hasn't been looking good. So you see that here that I already had some kind of line on the chart from before. I think this might be weekly line. Yeah, it's a weekly line up here. And right now we are back below it. So we went up there, we managed to kind of went above the line up here. Maybe it didn't. Maybe my line is wrong a little bit up here. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's okay. It's okay. And then we went above the line. Then we cruised with the line on downside and right now fell through that. So this is the weekly chart. We still got 3 days and 5 hours left. But we are breaking the supports. So I don't know how far down this is gonna go. Is it gonna go to 0 or what? I don't know, man. I don't know. Right now we are going through this, capitulation phase. It's down 97.42% and we are, I wouldn't say we are done with the capitulation phase. So, this can definitely have, more room towards downside. Unfortunately. Will this recover or not? I don't know. Where is the next support? I don't know, man. Looks kind of sketchy up here. You can see it's breaking with this line up here. There's probably some line that's not being broken. Keith Hammond, finally, man. TF Fans Club. Thanks for supporting the channel. Enjoy the green name, enjoy the emojis, and since this is your first day in the TF Fans Club, you get to pick the coin, man. You get to pick the coin. Keith, nice. So maybe there are some kind of support lines down here, I don't know, but it doesn't look that good right now. Right now we're just trying to find some kind of bottom. Where the bottom for this is, I don't know. Maybe some of these wicks, you can see here it's hitting these wicks previous bottom, but these wicks are not actually that strong, but it can indicate some kind of support. Down here this one actually looks bad. Yeah, I think these lines up here 0070, something like that, maybe down here. If it goes below that, I really don't know. I really don't know how long it can actually go. Thanks, man. I want to bring down my XRP dollar cost average. Good time to buy, or are we on the edge of another cliff, do you think? Only down 57. I think we are on the edge of the cliff. I think we're gonna bounce a little bit, go a little bit sideways, something like that. I don't think we are at the bottom yet, unfortunately. I'm actually on a live stream later, but about watches. You have a channel, man? Patch tar. Probably not what I was actually thinking, but channel. Patch guitar. This is you, man. Yeah, that's you, man. Little speed leak. Can I play this? Don't monetize my video after I play it. Oh, look at you go, man. Nice, very nice, man. Very nice. Go for it. Can you play Free Bird? No, we are not playing anything, anytime I play something, the video gets monetized from somebody else, copyright strike, stuff like that. Not gonna do that. So that's just me for you, man. Live by the mountains. Thanks for $2. But it would be almost cheaper to, just join the TF Fans Club, instead of, donating $2, because, the TF Fans Club, membership is $3. And you get to chat and stick around and join the club. I'm on someone else's channel. I don't do YouTube. Oh, okay, you're someone else's channel as well. You like watches? Yeah. So Rolex is good investment. It was good investment. Right now the supply and demand are totally out of balance. So beside Rolex, I actually don't know any other coins that are not coins. I don't know any other. So it does look like this was actually the lines, something like here, maybe give or take. So we are breaking through that right now on the downside. By the way, is the music too loud or something like that? If it's too loud, I'll turn it down a little bit. As you can see down here, we are falling through, right? The question is, where do we see the bottom? Let's check out some indicators down here. On the weekly time frame, we still are at 33 levels up here, so we are not that far down. Music is perfect. Okay, good. I don't want music to be too loud, so there's that. So on the weekly time frame down here on the RSI, we are only at 33, so we can definitely fall a little bit more on the downside. I think we can fall a little bit more on the downside. So you cannot say that this is the bottom just by we are not any kind of overextended levels. I mean, yes, we are down a lot, but we are not down, right? So that's the trick up here. Let me see these lines up here. You see, we can go even by these lines down here. We can go a little bit more on the downside. I don't actually like doing the lines on the RSI, but sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta do that. So you see, even by the lines down here, I don't know how you're gonna put this, but whatever. Even by looking at these lines up here, somebody says this up here, maybe it's a little bit more up there, give or take. Even by looking at these lines, this looks like some kind of falling wedge, so we are at some kind of bottom down here, and this is the last phase before this actually breaks towards the upside, and then we get some kind of bull market, right? So that's the trick, right? That's the trick. So again, a little bit on the downside down here, and you can see down here in the MACD, we got this bullish cross here. Unfortunately, it turned into the bearish cross, and right now it's extending towards the downside, so momentum is increasing. Bear market brutal on TA channels right now. Blockchain backer pulling his paid TA series. Haven't seen a video from CK in forever. Yeah, so I think CK is either on vacation or he is focusing on his Discord channel or something like that. I don't know, but CK is very good to watch when you are in some kind of bull market and you need some kind of hopium, because everything he says is always gonna go up, right? So there is that. But blockchain backer pulling his TA series. Why is he pulling his TA series? On the downside, you'll see right now that we are coming to these overextended levels on the weekly time frame. We are still not close this, but this is the dump down here. This is the, you know, Corona dump. This is the Capitulation dump, and this down here is the first, you know, ending dump after 2017. There are a couple of more dumps, but you know, these are very important, right? Right, and you can see right now that over here we are coming to this very overextended level on the downside. So I do think that we can still, you know, just drop down more, but you know, we can also get to this consolidation pattern up here. So the target is still on the 200 moving average down here. It's this right now at, let's say at 22k, but I don't think we are gonna do this week right down all the way down to 22k and then bounce from that to something like that. I don't think this is gonna happen. It can happen, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this is gonna continue going a little bit up here. I think we are gonna go to some kind of consolidation pattern, some kind of maybe move towards the upside. We can get to 31, 32. We can get a move towards the upside all the way to 37,000, guys. All the way to 37,000. Although I think it's very, very unlikely to get a move back to 37,000. I think more likely is just go a little bit up here to some kind of 30, 32,000, and then go down and hit the 200 moving average and get capitulation. So I think that's actually the deal. The same thing goes over here. Once we start dropping on the downside, we did pull up a little bit up here, a little bit, you know, 1 week we had a green candle, but you know, it didn't come all the way up there, although we could have, you know, just bounced right big time up here and then, you know, do something like this and then break and then continue towards the upside. We consolidated up here a little bit sideways and then continue on the dumping on the downside, right? So, you know, 1 week consolidation phase. So over here, most likely there will be some kind of zigzag pattern, you know, going over here next week. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7th red candle in a row, and I think this has to, you know, play out. I think this has to play out. We cannot just continue dumping on the downside because we are going too fast. There's too much bullishness. So I think, you know, people need to buy in a little bit right now. They need to buy in a little bit, and then after that, I think you know, we're gonna end this move on the downside down here, right? And once we get to the downside, we might see some kind of accumulation phase down here. You know, this can last actually for a couple of months more, give or take. This you know, this accumulation phase on the downside. There will be a lot of talk that we are gonna fall further towards the downside, guys. There will be a lot of talk that we are gonna fall further towards the downside. But and we can do that. We can, you know, go down with the wick or something like that. We can even go down here and then bounce back up. I don't know what's actually happening. You know, my prediction is, you know, between the 23 and 25k, that's the bottom. So what are we gonna just go like here, or, you know, a little bit up, a little bit down, or something like that? But I think, you know, we're gonna stay in the 23 to 25 range for a while, and, you know, whales will accumulate in that range. If we go on the downside, we'll see what's happening, and then we're gonna start looking for new support levels, and might, you know, target at 23, 25 failed. But right now everything looks like that's gonna be the thing. So right now I'm not expecting more movements towards downside. It can happen that we just go straight down to some kind of 22 level and then maybe bounce and then do something like this. There's a lot of ways how this can actually play out. So, you know, predicting how exactly it's gonna play out is a little bit difficult. The only reason I think we're gonna have some kind of, you know, bounce is because of the 7 red candles in a row, and we are getting the new moon, guys. We are getting the new moon, sorry, the full moon on the 14th, I think 14. Next full moon is on the 16th of May. 16th of May, okay, 16th of May. By the way, let's see this chart up here. Everything but Moscow is in red. You know, everything is going through recession except Moscow. Moscow is not, you know, Moscow is like recession. Nah, I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to do that. So it's pulling back up a little bit. You see everything else is still going down. So I think right now Moscow stock market is a little bit not playing the ball with the rest of the world. So as you can see here, this is the 14th, today is 12th. I was actually, so, you know, 15th, 16th, but you know what, I think I saw 14th. Yeah, this is 2022, and if you go to May, yeah, it's 16. May 16 is the full moon. May 16 is the full moon, so you can see already right now that you know, although we can you know bounce all the way down towards downside or something like that, you know, we can just, you know, start, you know, consolidating here a little bit up here, maybe have a nice pullback up here to some kind of levels, and then around 1st of, when was it, when's the next, yeah. But the thing with this full moon, it's a total lunar eclipse as well, so I don't know how that's gonna affect us, but you know, it's total lunar eclipse as well on the full moon, so we're gonna see that. But May 30 is the new moon, definitely May 30 is the new moon. So down here you got May 30, something like that. That's the new moon. So what I'm expecting, you know, maybe a little bit more downside, maybe a little bit upside, you know, I don't know how this is gonna actually play out. We're gonna see. It needs to break certain levels and so forth. But between these two levels, I'm expecting, you know, sideways move, slight move towards downside, slight move towards the upside. I don't expect anything, you know, very volatile during the full moon. So over here I expect, I would say I expect a slight move towards the upside, and then on this, you know, the last moon, I think we're gonna dump all the way down to, you know, this last part down here, right? This last part down to, you know, some kind of June 14th. June 14th, I think, you know, we're gonna, you know, fall down here, right? And capitulate, and after that, you know, we're gonna, you know, start an accumulation phase up here, right? So the only reason right now why I'm saying that this has to go a little bit up, you know, it's because of the full moon that's coming on the 16th, you know, and I don't think this will actually just go down. It can go down or in straight line, but I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll see. Here, 32.23 all-time high. Yeah. Here, 32.23 all-time high. Seems legit, this time. It seems legit. Yes. I've noticed the general media just attack crypto when everything else is crashing, stocks, fiat, inflation going up, increased interest rates, but they only highlight crypto. I haven't actually noticed that. Do you know what I actually noticed? I actually noticed that there is a lot of bullish news when it comes to crypto adoption. A lot of exchanges, a lot of banks are right now accepting crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum to be precise, and they are making it easier for retail to actually buy these things. So I think right now that we are getting adoption under the radar during this bear market. I think the systems are being put in place to actually have a whole lot of people joining crypto once this, you know, bear market is done. So, you know, that's what I'm thinking. So I think it's very bullish. I did notice that, you know, they are attacking crypto a little bit, but you know, I don't think that's of any worry right now. Two super full moons in June and July. There is no way we don't have a huge recovery. Actually, there is 3 full moons, 3 super moons in June, July, and August. So it starts here in the June supermoon and July supermoon, and there was also August supermoon as well. So we got actually 3 supermoons. 12th August, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is 16th. Wait, 16, 13. So we got first supermoon is on the 14th. And then you have the second supermoon is on 11th, and then you got third supermoon on the 12th. So these 3 supermoons, these are 3 supermoons. That's why we are thinking, you know, this has to go a little bit up here or sideways, and then we're gonna hit here. We're gonna consolidate here, and then we're gonna go up. Do you want me to show you something very interesting? Key RB. Canadian, $5. Do you think we're in somewhat of a Wyckoff pattern on the daily time frame, where 25 could be our spring in phase C? We can check it out. Thanks for $5, man. But it would have been cheaper if you just joined TF Fans Club without donating. But you know, I do appreciate donation, but you know, TF Fans Club only costs $3. So let's go down here. I'm gonna show you something very interesting. This bottom down here, So this is in 2018, 2019. So we gotta go to 2018 over here, 2018. Full moon, nothing. Okay, let's go to 2019. January 21st, full moon, okay? January 21st, December. That's a full moon, January 21st. Then we got total lunar eclipse, new moon, and February 19th, full moon. So February 19th, it's a full moon, super moon, sorry, not full moon, super moon. And then March 21, super moon as well. There's one super moon as well, and then there's new moon, and there's regular moon, and so forth. New moon, and you know, new full moon. But there is no super moons, right? There is no more super moons. New moon, full moon. No more super moons. Full moon. New moon, full moon. New moon, full moon. New moon. Oh, baby's crying. Do you think this is interesting, guys? And people, you know, think that moons are crazy. These are the 3 supermoons in 2019. Where was that? The button. So you can see we actually hit, you know, lowered, you know, hit the button before the moons, and then the moons came over here. And if you look here right now, so we are going towards the bottom right now, and then we got these 3 supermoons up here, guys. Looks nice. And people, you know, people think that Fibonacci got more power over the moons. They don't know. Of course, there is a lot of good news surrounding crypto. That's what FUD is for. USD was a corporate attack. Very coincidental that politicians were pushing stablecoin FUD just before USD failed. I don't want to go into that, man. I have absolutely no idea what WTF. I've read, you know, explanations on what happened, but you know, I just don't get it. You know, my brain is too small for certain things, so I'm just trying to, you know, stay, you know, in like Warren Buffett says, in my sphere of influence, my sphere of knowledge, my sphere of something. True, I just mean every news outlet on Facebook, when I scroll on my news feed, is all crypto FUD. Yeah. So right now there is a lot of crypto FUD. Like, crypto FUD got me today, guys. I gotta admit, crypto FUD got me today. I was in dollars. There was already attack on the stable coins, and my mind was, you know, and before the, you know, before this, you know, every year there's a, you know, Tether FUD. So, you know, right now Tether started falling down, and in my mind, like, I don't want to do this, you know, I don't want to go through the, you know, through some kind of, you know, a roller coaster more. I'm just gonna sell my Tether and buy something else. So I sold Tether and bought euros just to get out of all of the, you know, stable coins. And you know, it's okay, because you know, I lost a couple of percent, but you know, no problem, man. I'm fine. I still got money to buy all the, you know, all the rug pulls at the bottom once we hit the bottom, you know. So there is that. Wyckoff pattern on the daily time frame. Okay, let's check that out. First, we gotta find the Wyckoff pattern, right? But what kind of Wyckoff pattern? There's several Wyckoff patterns, right? We can just look at here on images a little bit. Accumulation. You're probably thinking of this one up here. Somewhere I thought this is this the bottom? Spring. So maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Let's use this one over here, because this is support level. So what we are seeing here on the chart, Kirby, welcome to the Fans Club. There you go, man. I told you it's cheaper. Since this is your first time here, enjoy the green name, enjoy the emojis, and since this is your first time in the TF fans club, you get to pick the coin, man. You get to pick the coin. Captain letting me know that she says hello, she misses you, and she thinks you are a force of nature. TLA. Oh man, Captain, appreciate it. Thanks. KRB joined, man. KRB joined. Hi man, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Okay, so this part over here, I'm thinking like down here that there is some kind of you know, pattern up here. Is this the pattern that you're talking about, man? Let's zoom in a little bit up here. So this over here is PS, and then you gotta, you know, down here SC, right? This move SC, right? SC, and then you got some automatic response 2 times. So, you know, we can say that entire this thing is, you know, this move up here. You know what? This up here is AR, and this move to down here is, you know, support. So we're gonna put the line down there because, you know, that's what they do. They put the line down there. Now you got this move towards the upside. That's, you know, some kind of top up here, and then you gotta bleed on the downside. You know, damn, right? Secondary support, damn, right? That secondary support also confirming, very nicely playing out so far. Then you got this big move towards the upside, resistance levels, right? That's this move towards the upside, so that's the resistance level. So there are 2 resistance levels up here, of course. That's this one up here, and right now the second one. So the second one is 47 and one is a 44. So let's move on, and then you got this bleed on the downside. That would be bleed on the downside, and right now this over here, the spring. Now the problem with this spring is that, you know, spring doesn't usually go all the way down there. I mean, if this was some kind of spring, I would expect it to go up and the bullishness will kick in, but the bullishness is just not kicking in. That's the problem. So this looks like a failed Wyckoff pattern over here, at least the way I see it. It might be a spring because we haven't tested anything on the upside, right? We just fell through downside. It can definitely be the spring because we haven't tested anything on the upside. So what we have to do is go up here, maybe test certain levels, especially the support at 46,000, 47,000, and, you know, this is likely to happen because we got very important resistance at 37.7. So if you can get above that, then you can call this a spring, and then you have this, you know, move towards the upside up here, LPS, and then, you know, up here, all the way up here, some kind of SOS, some kind of pullback, and then continuation towards the upside. It can definitely happen. It could be that this is it could be that this over here right now, it's the spring part of the Wyckoff pattern, but right now we don't have anything. We don't have any kind of confirmation that it is. It could be that, but, you know, we don't have anything. There is also people saying that this is some kind of black swan event, like COVID dump down here, but I don't think so. This was, you know, a little bit out of the blue. The chart wasn't showing that it's just gonna dump on the downside, so it was, you know, starting looking a little bit bullish up here, pulling a little bit back, you know, still above certain moving averages. So this down here is definitely a black swan event. Now this over here cannot be called black swan event because you see how slowly it's bled, rejected, went up here, rejected, and it started bleeding down here below the moving averages, and it just fell down, right? It's not like it went up here and suddenly for some reason just fell down for whatever reason. Like, it played through entire part, and then it got pushed on the downside down here, right? But it did play through entire part up here. So this is not a black swan event. I don't think any kind of V-shaped recovery will happen. Black swan events are something unforeseen, and we have been calling for this dump for a very long time. We've been calling for this dump for a very long time, right over here, you know. So it's not unforeseen event. It's not unforeseen event. Yes, and can you also look June 2021 as phase A's where phase B looks too bloated when we went to 64, but I blame that on free money pumping markets. Can you look at June 21? June, July, June 21, somewhere up here. You think that this phase up here is also the same kind of Wyckoff pattern? Just a second, guys. I don't get it. How would this be the start of it, and now we're gonna say phase C? Because this can be looked at some kind of phase A, some kind of preliminary support, and a little bit up here, atomic response up here, selling pressure down here, maybe SC down here, maybe this is some kind of, maybe this should be looked on the 4-hourly time frame. Maybe it's a little bit better because it's a very tightly game. So yeah, so there is somewhere up here some kind of PS, and there is some kind of ST down there, some kind of R down here, maybe some kind of support down here, ST, then well a little bit up. Nah, it doesn't look like, maybe this part up here, might be this whole thing up here, and then this is actually failing up here. So I went a little bit up here, went a little bit up here to the top, then went down, secondary test or something like that, only 1 week on downside. Then it climbed back up here to the top, some kind of top, and then went down a little bit up here with some kind of spring on the downside maybe. Spring on the downside, and bounced back. Now this move up here needed to, blast through certain levels towards the upside, and then failed. And then went down here and up. Or maybe this entire thing after ST down here. This is top. It looks a little bit different, but this Wyckoff, I'm looking at Wyckoff distribution over a whole year. Nah, man, sorry, I'm not really, analyzing the Wyckoff patterns, and it really is not my thing, man. Although the only thing that you need to know about Wyckoff pattern is a complex pattern. You can see here it has a lot of phases, it has a lot of stuff that happens. You got accumulation, patterns, distribution, redistribution patterns, like reaccumulation patterns. And although this is only one type of that pattern, there are several patterns, but it doesn't have to. Number one, it doesn't have to play exactly like it's played over here. It doesn't have to play exactly, but the phases might be, very important. Phase might, but it doesn't have to, play exactly the same. And the other thing is that any kind of pattern doesn't, regardless whether that's complex pattern or a simple pattern like triangle or falling wedge or something like that, any kind of pattern has a chance of actually failing at one point, right? So keep remembering that. But I'm not into Wyckoff patterns, man. I don't Wyckoff that much. So Luna, guys, I'm gonna say a quick word about Luna. Luna is right now down. It's picked up pretty much up here. Maybe this is some kind of button for Luna up here. It's picked up like 733%. That's 7x, 8x. Before I go to work, this Black Swan seems different from the C90 Black Swan, but I wasn't around for that. Yeah, it's totally different. I don't think it's a Black Swan event, at all. Some people are saying it's a Black Swan event, and I'm saying it's not, because it does not feel like a Black Swan. It was a very predictable event. We have been, calling the top on the stock market. We are right now calling the housing crash. We have been calling that Bitcoin needs to go down in some kind of capitulation phase. we have been hoping that it might bounce up, but you know, it was pretty much in the cards that if we want to get any kind of 100k, that we need to have some kind of capitulation before we actually go higher, and so forth. So everything has been more or less, you know, very predictable at the moment. But Luna was a black swan event. Luna is a black swan event because you know, although it did start to go down a little bit up here, and you could say that this is you know, this is some kind of start, but you know, they accelerated the start towards that side. We just thought, you know, it's just gonna do something like everything else, you know, and continue towards the upside. This was a black swan event down here, right? That's a black swan event. Now these black swan events can and do oftentimes have very V-shaped recovery patterns, oftentimes because, you know, people get, you know, too scared, so they are selling, a huge selling pressure, but then the market needs a little bit time to figure out what's actually happening behind that. And if they figure out, yeah, this is gonna bounce, it's gonna be okay, eventually it's gonna come back up again, they start buying again. And then you have this, you know, very characteristic, you know, straight line down, and then, you know, this recovery pattern. And this recovery pattern is very common. Of course, you've seen that on, for example, Bitcoin. Up here, very common recovery pattern. You see here, it goes down too fast because there is a lot of FUD, there is a lot of fear, and you know, people don't know what's gonna happen. And then, you know, it stops, and then, you know, use a little bit time to, you know, so market can figure out what's gonna happen. Are we gonna eventually pump? You know, is this gonna dump to zero? What's gonna happen? And once the market figure out what's happening, you know, it either continues towards upside or downside. So, you know, if it continues to upside, oftentimes, you know, these are overreactions. So this overreaction, you know, went down and, you know, continue climbing towards upside. This is a very normal thing. Good evening, Edward. How you doing, man? This center plan, welcome KRB. Yeah, welcome KRB. I had to convince him that it's cheaper to, you know, just join the TFN club than, you know, donate money. And I like actually more that people are joining TFN club than donating, because it gets, you know, the community is growing, so I like that, you know. Eventually we're gonna be, you know, hundreds and hundreds of people in the TFNs club live stream, so that's good. How you doing, Edward, man? Could you do Kotti, please? Yeah, since you said please, nah, man, I'll do Kotti for you every day, man, every day, no problem. Let's check out Kotti. What's happening, Kotti? I hope Kotti doesn't have a stable coin. Does Kotti have a stable coin, this center plan? I hope it doesn't have a stable coin. This is my favorite place. Oh, so nice, so nice. So of course, it went down through the supports. We had 3 supports last time, 13, 11 and 09. And it looks like the 09 bounced off, but it didn't bounce off on the dollar. Maybe because a lot of pressure towards downside, maybe. But right now we are seeing that we are hitting that support on the downside. Let's go to the weekly time frame up here a little bit. This was actually up here. And that's up there, so it's between the supports right now. Let's go to the monthly time frame. Do we have anything on the monthly? How many candles do we have over here? 27 bars, only 27 bars. That's the... Okay, let's go 2 weeks. 50, 10, 20 moving in. So it did broke everything, and right now it is almost creating lower low up here. So where is the next support? Because, you know, if it breaks this support, where we should expect this to actually bottom out? Because we have to assume that this is just gonna do the same thing Bitcoin does, go down, bottom out, and then, you know, recover. The thing that I like about Kotti right now, it's, although it's dumping down here, you know, it's still above certain levels, you know, it's still, you know, normal pullback to some kind of low levels, it's just pulling back. If you look at other coins that I've always regarded as bad coins, for example, EOS. People are saying, oh, EOS is so low, man. Yeah, it's low, and this was low, and they're saying, oh man, it's so low, it has to pump, right? It has to pump, it's so low, and right now it's, you know, you gotta go back to, you know, 2017 to find that low, man. 2017 to find that low, right? So down here, you know, it got some kind of support at 50, but, you know, what if this actually goes through that 0.5 line down here? So this is, you know, the chart of, you know, coin that has no hype, and no future that, you know, investors don't care about, because, you know, it did pump like everything else because it was a bottom, so, you know, it broke certain line, it pumped a little bit, but it's coming right back down again, right back down again. There's, you know, there's a nice line up here. But it's breaking that line as well, so nah. But Coty, on the other hand, it's not the worst thing ever, man. It's not the worst thing ever. I mean, it looks bad, but everything looks bad, so there is no problem with looking bad, right? You can see here we broke certain levels down here, we retested these levels at the top up here, we got rejected, we broke the support, and right now dumping on the downside. Perfectly normal move. nothing special about that, and it's only down like 45% on the week. No, it's down 45% on the week, but, you know, other coins are down that much as well, so, you know, it can go down lower, it can go down. So what am I looking at over here? Right, we have to, of course, look at the support lines. We don't have any kind of moving averages below us, at least that I cannot see. You can see this, yeah. So this actually hit almost on the dollar. This monthly support up here. This monthly support. So 0.086 looks like nice support. We'll see that's gonna hold in the long term. There, this support down here at 13.7 that got broken way back, all the way up here on the dump that got broken. So, you know, I'm not looking at that anymore. Let's clean up the lines a little bit up here, and then of course we got two more support lines down here at 29. I don't know if this is entire chart of Coty February 2020. Let's check it out. CoinCap. Coty. So this has actually only 103 million market cap. That's low, man. That's very low. Right now that's very low. But this chart goes actually back to, you know, 2019. So I would like to see entire chart. So let's try to find entire chart on Coty. What's up, Salim? How you doing, man? I'm gonna buy some Luna as a gambler. I hope I hit big. Such a chill atmosphere here. Yeah, we are relaxing, man. We are chilling. There is no stress in the chat. There is no stress on the chart. We're just chilling. We're vibing. But then I'm in a good way. It might be the first one that doesn't fail, since it's 400 to 800 over collateralized. Actually, 90% of what it does is algorithmic stablecoins. Oh man. Yeah, maybe it's gonna hold up. Maybe I think a reason Luna failed is because from what I've read is that they were able to buy a huge supply of USD directly from the liquidity, and by lowering that they were able to, you know, smash down the USD. That's from what I heard. So, you know, the good thing is that, you know, once this attack is done one time, you know, everybody else learns about it and they improve their systems. They find a way how to, you know, stop the, you know, future attacks of this kind. And, you know, so these kind of attacks cannot work, you know, over and over again unless there is some fundamental flaw that cannot be changed. So if everything has this fundamental flaw, maybe in the contract or something like that, that cannot be changed, then it can be used over and over again. But if the fault is not fundamental, if it's, you know, abusement of the system or something like that, I think what happened with Luna, it cannot be replicated, and, you know, everybody else is gonna, you know, learn very fast what's up with that, and they're gonna fix the problem, right? And, you know, they're gonna find a way out. You know, smart people are working on this. So there is that. Let's check out, this was on Binance. Let's check out Binance Trading View up here. No, this is Binance Trading View. We need most chart ever. This is not most chart ever. Qcoin Tether. This goes back to June. This is the most chart ever, right? 1st June 2019. Yeah, June 2019. June, July, yeah. June 2000. Yeah, so this is the full chart of Coty. So let's do TA on this chart over here, because it's easier to see support levels, right? This is the monthly time frame that's up there. Then you got this one down here with the wick on the downside 2 times. You got this down here, and of course all the way down there at some kind of 007, whatever. Don't know if you're gonna actually get all the way down there. Right now, where we are in this area up here, this looks like important support levels. There are 2 beside this one up here. This is the weekly time frame. Down here, you can see these bottoms down here, and you can see these tops up here. They create a very nice support line down here, and that's around 0.03. That's a pretty big drop from right now. That's like 70% more drop. I don't believe that's gonna happen. So the question is, where could it, you know, stop? Maybe it could stop somewhere up here. Maybe there is a trend line up here. No, this is the trend line, you know, that got us, you know, smacked on the downside. This is the trend line that got us smacked on the downside. It's not some kind of rising wedge up here. Stop the line. Maybe it's a channel, and then on the channel it goes down. Let's investigate a little bit up here. Maybe it's a channel. Where are my channel lines? Let's go to the weekly time frame. Maybe you can draw nicer lines. I think it should be someplace up here. Maybe. Maybe something like this. Maybe something like this, give or take. It's not actually following these lines that nicely. So, maybe something like this up here. This looks nicer, I think. This looks not, because, you know, above it and below it up here, hit top. Maybe a little bit more down or something like that, give or take. But right now we are hitting the same support down again, right? So if it breaks this support, up here, you know, I would be looking at 0. I know it's 70% more down. I know it's 70% more down, but I don't know. It does seem that could be the case, or any, you know, any hit on this line up here, maybe. Because it's channels, right? So we are right now in the second, you know, bottom channel down here, and if we break that, then, you know, we have to, you know, assume that it can, you know, follow this channel up here, right? I would say 0.03, but right now it's just following. It's hitting the bottom down here right now, and it might have a nice pump towards the upside. We're gonna see if it's gonna have some kind of double bottom. It's just gonna hold support or something like that. Are there any other lines up here? No, that's this one. No, this one looks like some kind of rising wedge, and then, you know, broke from down, so it's not this one as well. Eh. Thank you, late adopter, for your analysis and responding to my request. Appreciate it. Happy to be part of the fans club. Well, we are happy to have you here, Kirby. We're happy to have you here, man. Okay, let's go do other stuff. Luna, let's go check out Luna a little bit more. I don't think we talked enough about Luna. Yeah, it's down by 0.03. And you know, it is picking up, and does look like it's starting to create this, you know, V-shaped recovery pattern up here, because you can see here it tried to do that up here, but it went just too fast towards the upside. But here it's slowly climbing up, and these are some big moves, guys. These are some big moves. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if you can still trade this on futures or spot or whatever, but, you know, the moves are pretty legit, guys. 900%. That's almost 10x. It looks like a small pump, but this is a 10x pump, guys. 10x pump. So right now we are either getting to the resistance, or we're gonna dump on the downside, right? But because this is a psychological level, right? 10x is psychological level, so you can always turn around and go down. Now we're gonna look at some nice lines up here. What you're gonna see right now is that we are increasing the speed towards downside. You can see these trend lines are, you know, increasing with the speed down here, and then there is, I think there is another increase down here as well. See here, we're hitting that resistance right now. Maybe it's something down here, maybe it's down here. Nah, it has to be up there. It has to be up there, I think. Right now it is trying to break that line. Let's over here. It might have been this one, because I had these 3 weeks before, so I know that, right? 1 week, 2 weeks, and that was third week, and I tried to get up here and failed and went down. But right now it looks like it's breaking the downtrend. So it looks like on the small time frame that we are breaking the downtrend on Luna. So right now it is pumping towards upside. The question is how high it's gonna pump, because they increased the supply by I don't know, 4x or something like that, if not more. That line, yeah, that line, man, that line. So look how nicely it's climbing towards the upside. But maybe, just maybe, there is some kind of rising wedge up here. Do you see the rising wedge, guys? I see the rising wedge. Do you see the rising wedge? Just maybe, just maybe. We should go someplace down here. It's a very tiny rising wedge, but you know, this is actually going, you know, pretty up. Nicely up. So we'll see if we get if this breaks this rising wedge towards the upside, it should be bullish. And if it doesn't, short by 100x. Oh man, it's so hot in here. It's a very small room where I'm in right now, and there's 2 pieces on, and all the windows are closed, so it gets really, really hot inside here. Back to 120. Bless you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So I don't know if it's gonna go. I don't think Luna can ever again get to 120 unless we get some kind of crazy next bull run. The problem is they increase the supply, so you know, they printed a lot of new Luna, so to get the same market cap and stuff like that, you know, it's gonna go, you know, a lot more higher than it went. But it does look like some kind of rising wedge on the 5-minute chart, so we're gonna see if this. It looks like it's breaking towards the upside. So if it manages to break towards the upside up here, maybe Justin is gonna increase the speed towards the upside as well. So you know, but you know, there's that about Luna. 1 inch down minus 20%. Bitcoin Cash up in 1.3% right now. Reef is up 15%, man. Wow, Reef is up 15% for whatever reason. XVS up 10%. But you see, guys, even these pumps towards the upside, these big numbers, not doing anything. B Pro, this is CoinSkid coin, it's down 18%, and then you got my coin, it's down another 60% below the support. Rubik, so you know, but you know, this thing I will definitely buy this thing once we hit some kind of, you know, market bottom. You know, I'll definitely invest in this kind of thing, but we'll see, we'll see. People seriously going into coins again, where devs have to push a button to restart if they are not too sane, in my opinion. Could you take a look at one when you finish with Luna, please? Yeah, of course, man. We'll check out one, man. Even in TLA and chat, do you think Tron will see anything like Luna prices 100 plus? No, that it went bust. I've seen a lot of movement on Tron. I've seen bullishness on the charts, although bullishness is pushing down, and I was actually thinking of shorting Tron, but you know, I did not do that. But yeah, it went a little bit down. The problem up here, it actually looks quite, you know, Tron actually looks quite nice. you know, it looks better than a lot of other stuff. On the weekly time frame, it did try to have this, you know, breakout up here and then right now right back down again, but it's still holding the support. I mean, this is one of very few coins that are holding the support. So until it breaks this support on downside, I would be bullish on Tron, and right now it's sitting on some kind of support. But if this for whatever reason starts breaking on downside, that's gonna be very bad for Tron, right? Because it's gonna lose the support. But we'll see any kind of, you know, crazy levels towards upside. I mean, if it, you know, if it manages to do any kind of bullish moves, but right now for, you know, bullish moves for anything is very, very hard to come by. Let's check out one. Harmony 1, there we go. So this horizontal monthly is breaking right now. We got 2 monthly on the downside down here, and then we got the bottoms down here. It's just nice to have these lines up here, you know, already. Do we have any kind of moving averages? No, that's it. That's not even 200 moving average. Not even 200 moving average on this baby. What kind of moving average do we have? 154 now. So you can see here, definitely as soon as we broke the bottom down here, we started dumping. I think the next support level should be around these levels on the downside. This is up here. This also looks very interesting up here, around 24 or something like that. Also the top up here might be interesting. So there are definitely a couple of, and then all the way down there. So there are definitely a couple of levels that that might play up here. This looks like some kind of falling wedge that increased in speed. So people often say that, you know, falling wedges, you know, break towards the upside. Right now in strong downtrends, they do break towards downside, and then they increase speed towards downside. Not only they break through downside, but they increase the speed towards downside. So this was already going towards downside, but over here they increase the speed towards downside, right? So where the target is for this, you know, who knows? Maybe it already hit the target down here for the first move, so you're gonna see that. But there are definitely, you know, some interesting levels up here. I would say, you know, the most interesting right now is these two down here at 23 or something like that. And then I would say I wouldn't say this one down here, this monthly, but all the way down here at 0.13 or something like that. But it is still following Bitcoin, and whatever Bitcoin does, this is gonna do. So, you know, it's just trying to find the support level. Right now just trying to find support level or something. It found something up here. Unfortunately the trend lines are not getting broken right now. You know, you know, this is still increasing in the speed, and right now it is trying to, you know, find out, you know, whether we're gonna, you know, just, you know, continue all the way up here, you know, start climbing, or it's just gonna make a new pivot point up here or somewhere, and then we'll draw a new line, something like this up here. Something like this down here, we'll draw a new line, and then it will, you know, follow the new line towards downside, right? So it will increase the speed towards downside. So do we look at this scenario, or just more dump to, you know, straight dump to the downside? I think, you know, this you know, pivot creating a move towards the upside might actually happen. But this is definitely not any kind of bottom for this right now. This is a 4-hourly time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame up here. We are sitting very low at 22 on the daily time frame. So, you know, just like Bitcoin, I think it needs to, you know, chill out for a little bit before we actually continue going to the downside. Very overextended levels on the daily time frame though, so that's also indicating that we might get the consolidation pattern. This is the Corona dump down here. So these kind of overextended levels haven't happened, you know, in a way long time. So that's why I'm saying consolidation or a small pump, you know, that get bounced towards the outside, because I still believe that we have more room down to go. Let's just see weekly. Weekly is down at 34 on the RSI, but way overextended on the weekly. We'll see. True. I learned that a lot of alts might have a chance to die from a technical perspective. XRP, Cadena, Engine are examples of those. Matic looks very good on the other hand. Engine is a gaming coin, so I don't know about that. Still holding this upper trend line up here. But it is breaking 200 weekly moving average. XR became below very important fib levels where it... Fib levels, man! I thought you liked my stream, man! I thought you like fib levels, fib! Nah, just kidding, man. XR became below very important Fibonacci levels where it will have a lot of difficulty to ever recover from that. It didn't make an all-time high this run, which is also bad. Yeah, I think everything that didn't make all-time high is bad. I mean, you are in the bull run, everything makes new all-time highs, but you know, EOS, XRP are not making all-time highs. But XRP is still holding, up nicely, so you know, there's still, hope for that. You know, there is so much, people talking about it, but I do not like that it did not, So this came almost down to 0.31 line down here. I don't like that it didn't make all-time high, this is 2017, and the fact that we did not come up all the way up there, I think that's a little bit bad. I think that's a little bit bad. I don't know why, but I think that's a little bit bad. But right now, this 0.31 level. Let's just remove these lines. We don't need these lines right now. And we don't need this, and we don't need that. Okay, so you can see these lines up here we have already broken, so you can remove those. So you can see down here. Okay, so we can just draw a new line. One other moving average on the monthly time frame right now coming to these 0.30 levels. I know that these levels are very important for XRP community because it's been support for a very long time, so they have been looking at this 0.3 level, and when they broke the support, every time they came back up there, level 0.3, they have been looking at some kind of resistance. And over here, when they broke them down and then right back up again, it's been playing around this level. So this level down here right now, where 100 moving average is at 0.3, very important level to hold and not break. The bottom on this thing over here is at 0.17. Can it go all the way down there? I don't know, man. Maybe. We don't know. But right now, as long as it's above this support level up here, I don't think it's important to talk about anything else because it's holding the support nicely. Vanaleswa, hi man, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. XRB same price as 5 years ago, yeah. So but EOS is worse. EOS is EOS is the same. 5 years ago, the same price like 5 years ago. So such a shame. Also, Bitcoin right now it's just going a little bit up, a little bit down. This is the daily. This is where the day started. This over here is where we are right now. That's -1, so down here is -2%, something like that. Up here is +2%, something like that, right? Give or take. So you've been kind of zigzagging up here all day. Unfortunately. But we did break certain trends though. You'll see here that this last trend on the downside that got broken, we retested, jumped up here. Right now we're trying to hold these moving averages. If we can hold this moving average, maybe there is hope, to create this inverse head and shoulders pattern up here, right? But that means that if this is gonna play out, we need to break certain levels up here. We need to break certain levels, right? So this inverse head and shoulders, it can play out, and the target for this inverse head and shoulders, if this plays out, should be something like 33,000, 34,000, give or take. Looks like this 200 moving average up here, something like that. But we need to see some kind of rejection, some kind of support up here, bounce, and then break off this resistance, and then move towards the upside. How high this actually gonna come. Anyways, guys, TF Fans Club, thanks for Kirby for joining, and Keep Hammond for joining as well. Welcome to TF Fans Club. Everybody else, I'm actually a little bit tired because today I actually woke up like very early, like 4:30 or something like that, because I went to bed early. So I'm gonna try to go to bed early because I actually like waking up early. So there's that. Unfortunately, it does kind of kill the mood on the evening streams because I'm kind of in relaxed mood and just want to sleep. Sleep, and there is not right now. There is not so much excitement on the chart. All the excitement went out earlier today, and there is that. Anyways, TF Fans Club members, thanks for stopping by. I didn't actually have a TF Fans Club logo during the stream, man. Can you imagine that? Doesn't matter. They saw the thumbnail, man. They saw the thumbnail. The thumbnail was good today. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. See you again tomorrow, same place, same time. Bitcoin Daily, 9 AM Central European Time, on the dollar tomorrow as well. Check it out. Maybe something has been happening through the night. We have our moon dates, Euros until I get some well-deserved rest, 73. We'll see you around.